Hi guys, so now we're on the second part ng ating set A for the solutions to the board exam refresher workbook for general engineering. Okay, so sa part 1, sinagutan natin yung set A from numbers 1 up to number 10. Ano? So now we're going to start solving from number 11 hanggang number 20. Okay, so let's begin. So, our number 11 problem is mathematics na lumabas sa ME board noong April 1998. A pump can pump out water from a tank in 11 hours. Another pump can pump out water from the same tank in 20 hours. How long will it take both pumps to pump out the water in the tank? Okay, so wag natin kalilimutan na ang pinag-uusapan dito is parehong tank lang, no? So meron tayong dalawang pump. Baka ma-confuse tayo because, for example, in chemical engineering board exam, this is on day 3. So baka meron ka pang hangover ng part 1 and part 2 sa chemical engineering. Okay, but this is actually just a simple work problem in algebra, no? So katulad ng mga natutunan natin sa work problem, we can represent yung work natin in which itong mga number of hours will be our denominator, no? So, we have two pumps here. Okay, one pump can pump out water from a tank in 11 hours. So, that means one pump can do it in 11 hours. And then, another pump can pump out water from the same tank at 20 hours. And then, pagsasabayin natin sila, no? So, that means the second pump is 1 over 20. Okay? And then, ang hinahanap natin is how many hours will it take if both pumps are working to pump out the water in the tank. So, that means we will be looking for 1 over x. Okay? So, para hindi na tayo mahirapan, ano? Gamitin na natin yung calculator. Anyway, sa board exam, meron naman tayong calculator. So, 1 divided by 11 plus 1 divided by 20. So we have 0.141. So 0.141 is equal to 1 over x. So therefore our x is equal to 1 over 0.141. So our x will be equal to, from our calculator, we'll have 1 divided by our previous answer. So we have 7.097. Okay, so let's write that. Okay, so this will be our final answer here, yung hinahanap nating number of hours. And as per our choices, it will be letter A, no? Alright, so now let's move on to problem number 12. Which is again algebra na lumabas sa ECE board noong November 1995. So we have a given equation here. We have logarithm of y to the base of b is equal to 2x plus logarithm of x to the base of b. Which of the following is true? Okay, so titignan natin alin ba sa mga choices natin ang equal dito, no, sa given na equation natin. So, let's work it out. Susulat ko muna yung ating equation. So, we have the logarithm. Oh, sorry. I will use blue para hindi tayo nalilito. Hindi iba-iba yung kulay natin, ano. So, I will have the logarithm of y to the base of b is equal to 2x plus the logarithm of x with the base of b, no? Okay, so kung makikita ninyo, dalawang expression natin is having logarithm na merong base na b. So, pwede natin silang pagsamahin na sa isang side ng ating equation, ano? So, we have logarithm of y to the base of b minus logarithm of x to the base of y, base of b I mean, is equal to 2x. Okay, so natutunan natin sa ating algebra course doon sa properties of radicals that this will be equal to the logarithm of y to the base of 10 over the logarithm of p to the base of 10. No? Similarly, dito sa ating second expression, we have the logarithm of x to the base of 10 over the logarithm of b to the base of 10. Okay, so in this will be equal to 2x. Now, same denominator, we have here logarithm of b to the base of 10. So, multiplying both sides by logarithm of b with a base 10, we will have logarithm of y base 10 minus logarithm of x base 10 is equal to 2x, okay, times logarithm of b base 10, okay? So, sisimplify lang natin siya. Gagamitin natin yung ating properties of radicals, no? So, pwede rin natin pagsamahin itong dalawang expression natin dito. So, we will have logarithm, and because they have the same base, no? Kaya pwede natin sila pagsamahin. Logarithm base 10, we have y over x, and this is equal to, again, using the properties of radicals, itong 2x natin can be an exponent of our b right here, no? So, we will have logarithm base of 10 of b to the 2x. Okay? So, pareho yung ating left and right side ng equation na merong logarithm base 10. So, again, using the properties of radicals, we know that this will be equal to y over x is equal to b to the 2x. Then, of course, we can simplify this by multiplying both sides by x. So, we will have y is equal to x b to the 2x. Okay, so this is our final answer for this problem. And this is letter D, no? Sa ating mga choices. Y is equal to x, p to the 2x. So, our answer here is letter D. Okay, so punta na tayo ngayon sa problem number 13, which is trigonometry, na lumabas sa CE board noong November 1992. Okay, so we need to find the value of sine of arc cosine 15 over 17. Okay, so we have to take note that arc cosine is the inverse of cosine. Okay, so let's name yung hinahanap nating value nito. Let's name that as x. So we have x is equal to sine arc cosine 15 over 17. So, arc cosine is the inverse of cosine. So, that means we can also write it this way. Sine times cosine negative 1, 15 over 17. Okay? So, as you can see, our cosine to the negative 1 of 15 over 17 is actually, we can say, the angle that we need for our sine, ano? So, we can assume this to be, or we could let our angle theta to be cosine to the negative 1 of 15 over 17, no? So, let theta is equal to cosine to the negative 1, 15 over 17. Okay? So, that means cosine theta is equal to 15 over 17, because this is just an inverse of cosine. Okay? So, alam na natin that cosine theta is equal to 15 over 17. And dahil mas madali na because naka-fraction yung given natin, so, we can write a right triangle para mas ma-visualize natin yung condition natin, ano? So, let's say this is our angle theta. Okay, and according dito sa ating given, cosine theta is equal to 15 over 17. And we know that cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, so that means our adjacent here is 15 and our hypotenuse is 17. Okay, so let's say this is our A and this is our C. So, we don't know what's the value of our P. And of course, we can solve for that using Pythagorean theorem, ano? So, let us use our Pythagorean theorem. So our b is equal to the square root of c squared minus a squared. So our b is equal to the square root of our hypotenuse 17 squared minus our a 15 squared, no? So we can calculate for the value of b. So let us use our calculator again. So lagay na natin dito sa left side. So we have 17 squared minus 15 squared. Okay, so let's take the square root of that. So our answer for B is equal to 8. Okay, pero hindi pa yan yung final answer natin because nakuha lang natin yung value ng B, which will help us to find kung ano yung value ng sin theta. So, huwag natin kalilimutan. Kailangan natin makuha is yung value ng sin theta because our cosine 15 over 17 is our theta in this case. No? Pag nakuha natin yung sin theta, we already solved for our unknown x. So, our unknown x is equal to sin theta. But, according to our right triangle here, our sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, diba? So, that means our x is equal to our opposite, which is b. In this case, our b is equal to 8 over our hypotenuse, which is 17. Okay, so this is our final answer here. And according sa ating mga choices, this is letter D, 8 over 17. Alright, so let's go to problem number 14. Now, this is about analytic geometry na lumabas sa ME board noong April 1998. The equation of a line that intercepts the x-axis at x is equal to 4 and the y-axis at y is equal to negative 6 is, so this is actually isa sa mga unang topics na pag-aaralan natin or pinag-aralan natin sa analytic geometry, no? Because before we go to the equations of other curves or sa ating conic section, syempre pag-aaralan muna natin yung mga lines, no? So, dahil given yung ating intercept sa x and y axis, so that means we will be using yung ating intercept form ng ating line. Okay? In which yung ating equation is we have x over the x-intercept plus y over our y-intercept is equal to 1. Okay, so ito yung gagamitin natin dito. Because given na kagad yung ating x-intercept, which is equal to 4, and our y-intercept b is equal to negative 6. Okay, so substitute natin siya dito sa ating equation. So we have x over our a, which is 4, plus y over b, which is negative 6, and this is equal to 1. Okay, so we can also write this as x over 4 minus y over 6 is equal to 1. Okay, and we'll be using that here. So, medyo sisimplify lang naman natin yung ating equations, no? So, we will have 6x minus 4y over 6 times 4, which is 24. And this is equal to 1. Okay, so multiplying both sides by 24, we will have 6x minus 4y is equal to 24. But we can still simplify this by dividing it by 2, no? So if we divide this by 2, 6 divided by 2 will have 3x, minus 4 divided by 2 will be 2y, is equal to 24 divided by 2, which is 12. Okay, so this is our final answer for this problem. 3x minus 2y is equal to 12, which is here, letter C. 3x minus 2y is equal to 12. Okay, so it's letter C sa ating mga choices. Okay, so now let's go to problem number 15, which is part of our advanced engineering mathematics na lumabas sa EE board noong October 1997. Okay, so our A is equal to negative 2 minus 3i, and our B is equal to 3 plus 4i. So, what is A over B? Okay, so ang pinahanap sa atin is A over B. Pero given naman yung value ng A, no, which is negative 2 minus 3i. And given din yung value ng B, which is 3 plus 4i. Okay, but to rationalize this, we need to multiply it by 3 minus 4i, no? So, we need to multiply this by, okay, so let me use that na lang para hindi tayo malito. So, let me multiply this by 3 minus 4i over 3 minus 4i. Okay? So, negative 2 times 3, we will have negative 6. Negative 2 times negative 4i, we will have plus 8i. Then, negative 3i times 3 will have negative 9i. Then, negative 3i times negative 4i will have plus 12i squared. Okay, so this will be over 3 times 3, which is 9. Then 3 times negative 4i will be negative 12i. Plus 4i times 3, we will have plus 12i. Then plus 4i times negative 4i will have negative 16i squared. Okay? So, from here, makita natin we have negative 12i and positive 12i. So, we will have here 0. Okay? So, ang may iwan sa atin dito is A over B is equal to negative 6 minus, okay, 8i minus 9i will be minus I. Then, plus 12i squared over 9 minus 16i squared, no? But we have to recall yung value ng ating I, no, which is an imaginary number. Okay, so we have to recall yung mga values na. I'm going to write that dito sa left side, ano, para ma-recall natin. Anyway, this is a review, no, a refresher, kaya maganda na maalala natin ito. So, for I raised to 1, this is equal to I. Okay, so I squared is equal to negative 1. I cubed is equal to negative I. And then for I to the 4th, this is equal to positive 1. Okay, so that will be the same, no? Continuous lang. So we have I to the 5th is equal to I to the 6th is equal to negative 1, katulad lang nung nasa left niya. I to the 7th is equal to negative I. Then, I to the 8th is equal to 1. Okay? So, we will be using that dito sa ating nakuha. Now, we have I squared and I squared in here. Our I will remain the same because I to the 1 is equal to I. So, it will remain the same. No? So, we have A over B is equal to negative 6 minus I plus 12 times I squared. Our I squared is equal to negative 1 over 9 minus 16 times I squared, which is equal to negative 1. Okay? So, we're going to solve for that. A over B is equal to negative 6 minus I. 12 times negative 1 will be minus 12 over 9 plus 16. No? So, that means our A over B is equal to negative 6 minus 12 will be equal to negative 18. Okay, so we have minus 18 minus I over 9 plus 16, which is 25. Okay, so this is our final answer in here. So, A over B is equal to negative 18 minus I over 25, which is sa ating mga choices, letter B, no? Negative 18 minus I over 25. So, that's our final answer there. So, punta na tayo sa problem number 16. Okay? So we again have advanced engineering mathematics. So this time we have to evaluate a determinant. Lumabas to sa EE board noong April 1997. Okay? So we're just going to recall paano ba tayo nagsosolve ng determinant. Okay? So our determinant here is equal to, we have 1, negative 2, 3. Then we have 2, negative 1, 1. Then we have 3, negative 2, 4. Okay? So, kung marirecall ninyo, in solving for determinant, okay, so ini-extend lang natin ito, no? So, we're going to write again this. We have 1, negative 2, 3. And the second one, which is 2, negative 1, 1. Okay? So, sundan nyo lang yung gagawin ko, ano? But, we're going to add first itong mga nasa first part, no? So, I'm going to write this, plus this, then plus this. Okay? So, yan yung gagawin natin. So, alisin ko siya para hindi kayo malito. Okay? So, yan yung gagawin natin. Just a guide for you, no? So, our D is equal to, again, 1. Okay? So, lagay ko siya sa loob ng bracket. So, we have 1 times negative 1 times 4. Okay? So, ito yung part na yon, ano? Para makita ninyo siya. Ito yung part na yon, yung ginawa natin. 1 times negative 1 times 4. Okay? So, yan yung ginawa natin. So, next part is this one. Okay? Okay, so nakaslant din siya. So, yan ang susunod natin. So, you will add that here. Plus 2 times negative 2 times 3. Then plus for our next part. So, ito naman yon. Okay, so sunod-sunod lang naman siya, no? Kaya hindi kayo malilito. So, we have plus 3 times negative 2 times 1. So, 3 times negative 2 times 1. Okay? So, ang next part natin is yung pataas naman. So, mula dito, papunta ron, mula dito, papunta ron, mula rito, papunta ron. So, yan naman ang ating gagawin. Pero, you have to take note that we will have subtraction here because you're going to subtract this one, yung mga pababa kanina dito sa pataas, no? So, we're going to subtract that. So, I will start from this one, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina. We're going to start from here, ano? So, we're going to multiply 3. Okay, so 3. Okay, 3 times negative 1 times 3. Then plus, ito naman, tong part na to. Ito naman yung gagawin natin ngayon. So, we have 1 times negative 2 times positive 1. Then again, plus. So, ito namang part na ito. Ang gagawin natin, yung last part. Okay? So, yan naman yung gagawin natin ngayon. So, we have 4 times negative 2 times positive 2. Okay? So, yan yung sasagutan natin. Alright, so para hindi na tayo masyadong malito. Alright, so we will have D is equal to, okay, 1 times negative 1 will be negative 1 times 4 will have negative 4. So, 2 times negative 2 will be negative 4 times 3. So, that means we have negative 12. Okay, then 3 times negative 2 will be negative 6 times 1 still negative 6. So, we have minus 6 in here. Okay, so, sorry. Okay, so minus 6. Then minus, pag natin kalilimutan, subtraction yan. Okay, so 3 times negative 1 will be negative 3 times 3 will be negative 9. Okay, then 1 times negative 2 will be negative 2 times 1 will be negative 2. So minus 2. Then 4 times negative 2 will be negative 8. Then times 2 will be negative 16. Ano? So we have negative 16 in here. Okay? So from here, D is equal to Negative 4 minus 12 minus 6 will be equal to negative 22. Then minus negative 9 minus 2 minus 16 will be negative 27. Okay? So we have D is equal to negative 22. So negative times negative will be positive. So plus 27. So our D in here is equal to minus 22 plus 27, which is 5. Okay? So our final answer here is equal to 5, in which sa ating mga choices is letter C. Okay? So let's go ahead to problem number 17, which is a physics problem or engineering mechanics problem na lumabas sa ME board noong April 1996. So, what is the acceleration of a body that increases in velocity from 20 meter per second to 40 meter per second in 3 seconds? Okay? So, ano ba yung mga given natin dito? Pinahanap sa atin is yung acceleration. And then, we have an initial velocity. So, initial velocity is 20 meters per second. And then, our final velocity is equal to 40 meters per second. And our time, kung saan kailangan nating makuha yung acceleration, is equal to 3 seconds. Alright, so this is one of the basic equation na ginamit natin sa P6, no? So we know that our final velocity is equal to the initial velocity plus acceleration times time. So direct substitution lang naman yung mga gagamitin natin. So final velocity, which is 40, is equal to initial velocity, which is 20, plus acceleration, which is unknown, times our time, which is 3 seconds. So, lahat naman ng time natin dito is naka-seconds, no? So, wala tayo magiging problema. Right, so our A is equal to 40 minus 20 over 3. So, that means our A is equal to 40. Okay, so 40 minus 20, which is 20, divided by 3. So, we have 6.67, ano? So, 6.67 meters per second squared. And that will be our final answer in here. 6.67. So, ano siya sa ating choices? Here, we have 6.67 meter per second squared, which is letter B. Okay? So, let's go to problem number 18. So, dito sa number 18, this is a strength of material problem. So, let's start solving it. So, by the way, guys, there is an error in our problem. So, this is actually 75 kilonewton, ano? Yung nasa problem natin. Okay, so, probably nahirapan kayong kunin yung tamang sagot because medyo may problema yung ating given sa ating workbook, no? But anyway, we're going to solve this now. So, this is a strength of materials problem na lumabas sa ECE board noong November 1998. So, an iron column of annular cross-section. So, annular yung cross-section natin. So, that means we will be expecting 2 diameters in here, no? Meron tayong dalawang circle na makikita. And it has an outer diameter of 200 mm and is subjected to a force of 75 kilonewton. Find the thickness of the wall if the allowable compressive stress is 10 megapascal. Okay, so sulat muna natin yung annular column natin. So, katulad ng sinabi ko, we will be expecting 2 diameters here because this is annular. So, if this is our circle, so meron pa tayong isang circle dito, no? Okay, so according sa ating given, the outside diameter is equal to 200 millimeter, no? So, in meters, that will be, let's say, this is the outer diameter. So, diameter is equal to, okay, let me use blue for that, para kitang-kita siya. So, diameter is equal to 200 millimeters. So let's convert that to meter. So we have 0.2 meters. Okay? So unknown yung ating inside diameter, no? So hindi natin to alam. So let's have this as small d. Okay? Para pag mamaya pag ginamit natin siya, hindi tayo malito. And ang required sa atin na hanapin is itong ating thickness. Diba? So, kailangan daw nating ma-determine what is our thickness T. Okay? So, yan yung kailangan nating makuha. Okay? So, ano yung mga given natin, no? So, given yung ating force, which is 75 kilonewton. So, our force is equal to 75 kilonewton. And then, given yung ating stress, which is equal to 10 megapascal. So, converting this, no, so kilonewton, so gamitin lang natin yung newton because newton is kilogram meter per second squared. So, this will be 75,000 newton. And then, for megapascal, we have 10, let's say 10 to the 6, no, pascal. Okay, so we know that our stress is equal to force over area. So we know the stress and we know the force. So that means we can actually isolate yung ating area. So we have force over stress. So given yung ating force, which is 75,000 newton, over our stress, which is 10 times 10 to the 6 pascal, ano. So, our area is equal to, let's use our calculator. Okay, so we have 75,000 divided by 10 to the 6, no? Okay, so 10 to the 6. So, we have 7.5 times 10 to the negative 3. Okay, so this is 0.0075 square meter, no? So, ginawa ko lang siyang decimal because this is 7.5 times 10 to the negative 3, no? So, it's just 0.0075, no? Alright. So, meron tayong dalawang diameter, no? So, kailangan nating makuha yung thickness. And then, given yung surface area, okay? So, ang surface area natin is this part. Okay? So, I don't know if I can color that para mas makita ninyo. So, this part, no? So, yan yung area na na-compute natin. So, that is what we're going to get, no? So, para makuha natin yung area na yan, okay, so we have area is equal to yung area ng ating hole, no? Itong circle na malaki. So, that area is pi over 4 times itong diameter natin with big T, no? So, d squared. And then, isusubtract natin itong area ng maliit na circle natin. So, minus pi over 4 maliit na d squared, no? Alright, so, alam natin yung ating diameter, yung outside diameter. So, ang di natin alam is itong maliit na d, which is diameter nung nasa loob. Pero alam na rin natin yung area. So, that means we can solve for d, diba? Okay? So, that means we will have here our area, which is 0.0075, which is equal to pi over 4 times our d, which is 0.2 meter squared, minus pi over 4 d squared. Okay, so solve lang natin yung d natin. So, let me isolate that. So, I will have pi over 4 d squared is equal to pi over 4 times 0.2 squared minus 0.0075. Okay, so solvein muna natin itong nasa right side ng ating equation para mas luminis-linis itong ating screen ngayon. Pabawasan yung ating mga numbers. So, we have 5 divided by 4. So, I started here. Times 0.2 squared. So, nakuha na natin yan. minus 0.0075. Alright, so we have 0.024. Okay, so 0.024. So pi over 4d squared. So let's solve for d. So we're just going to transpose all of this. So we have 0.024 times 4 divided by pi. And we're going to take the square root of that. No? Makuha na natin yung d. So our d is equal to, so 0.0239. So ito na rin yun. Times 4. Then divided by pi. Then kunin natin yung square root niyan. So we have 0.1745. So remember that our unit is in meters. Okay? So hindi pa natin nakukuha yung tamang sagot because ang kailangan nating makuha is yung thickness. So dahil given yung total end na diameter natin, yung outside diameter natin, so we're going to add diameter ng inside natin plus 2 thickness dahil meron tayong dalawang thickness dito, ano. So this is also thickness, di ba? This is also thickness. So that means our D, yung big D, is equal to small d plus 2t. Diba? So, dahil alam na natin yung malaking d at maliit na d, makukuha na natin yung thickness, no? So, let's write that here. D is equal to small d plus 2t. Okay? So, ano yung big D natin? Our big D is 0.2. So, 0.2 is equal to our small d, which is 0.1745 plus 2t. Okay? So, we're going to solve for t. So, diretso na natin sa calculator para hindi tayo magtagal. No? So, we have ito, 0.1745. No? Yan yung ating answer previously. So, we're just going to subtract. Okay? 0.2 minus our previous answer will be 0.025. So, ito yun. Minus natin ito dito. Then, divide natin sa 2. Alright. So, nung dinivide natin sa 2, ang lumabas, the value of our t is 0.0127. Tama ba? Yes, 1275. 0.01275. Okay, so this is in meters. So, convert natin sa millimeters. So, times 1,000. So, our T is equal to 12.75 millimeters. So, this will be our final answer. 12.75 millimeters. So, nasan siya sa ating mga choices? 12.75, which is letter A. Okay? Alright, so, dalawang problem na lang. Let's go to problem number 19. Alright, so problem number 19 is differential equations na lumabas sa EE board noong October 1997. So, if dy is equal to x squared dx, what is the equation of y in terms of x if the curve passes to 1, 1? Okay, so we have an equation here which is dy is equal to x squared dx. So, clearly stated naman, what is the equation of y in terms of x? Okay, so we can integrate both sides. Okay, so we have the integral of dy is equal to the integral of x squared dx. Okay, so the integral of dy will be y. The integral of x squared will be x cubed over 3. Then, of course, we have plus c. Okay? So, our curve passes through 1, 1. So, that means our x is equal to 1 and our y is equal to 1. Okay? So, we'll substitute that dito sa ating nakuwang equation. So, our y is equal to 1 is equal to x is equal to 1, so we have 1 cube over 3 plus c. Okay? So, therefore, we can solve for our c. So, our c is equal to 1 minus 1/3, which is c is equal to 3 minus 1 will be 2 over 3. So, nakuha na natin yung value ng c. Pero ang pinahanap sa atin is yung the equation ng ating curve. Okay? So, let us write this again. So, we have y is equal to x cubed over 3 plus c. Okay? So, ito yon, sinulat lang natin uli. Pero, alam na natin yung value ng c ngayon. Ano? So, let's just substitute that. So, y is equal to x cubed over 3 plus 2 over 3. So, multiplying both side by 3, we will have 3y is equal to x cubed plus 2. Okay? So, that means we have x cubed minus 3y plus 2 is equal to 0. So, this will be the equation of our curve. Okay? And also our final answer. Okay? So, nasan siya sa ating choices? X cubed minus 3y plus 2. X cubed minus 3y plus 2 is letter B sa ating mga choices. Alright, so let's go to our final question para sa set A part 2, no? So, we have an integral calculus problem na lumabas sa EE board noong April 1996. And we have a triple integral in here. Okay, so sasagutan natin siya. First, let me write our expression. So, we have 0 pi over 2, 0 to 1, then 0 to 2, c dz, and then r squared dr, and then sine u du. Okay, so, alam naman natin na to, no? Sa ating integral calculus, we will be solving this one by one. Ito muna, and then ito, and then ito, no? Ayan yung gagawin natin ngayon. Alright, so let's start dun sa nasa unahan, no? So, sulat muna natin itong dalawang integral natin para ma-perform natin yung pangatlong integral. So, we have pi over 2, 0, 0, 1. Okay? And then, I'm going to solve for the integral of c dz. Okay, so the integral of c dz will be z squared over 2 from 0 to 2. Okay, so we still have r squared dr and sine u du, no? Dito sa ating right side. Okay, so we will have from 0 pi over 2, 0 to 1, we have c squared. Okay, let us substitute 2 dito sa ating z. So, we will have 2 squared over 2 minus 0. Okay, r squared dr sine u du. Okay, so, we know from here, 0 pi over 2, 0, 1. So, we know we have 2 squared, which is 4 divided by 2. So, we have 2. So, 2 r squared dr sine u du. Okay? So, we're going to perform this one, yung second natin. So, alisin na natin itong ating constant, no? We can take it out. So, we have 2, 0 pi over 2. Now, I'm going to perform the second integral here. So, we have r squared dr. Okay? So, let me solve the integral na para hindi tayo malito kasi tinalis na natin yung integral sign. So, the integral of r squared dr will be r cubed over 3. And it is from 0 to 1. Okay? So, 0 to 1. And of course, nandito pa yung ating sine u du. Okay? So, we have 2, the integral of 0 pi over 2. And then, r cubed. Papalitan natin yung r ng 1. So, I will have 1 cubed will still be 1 over 3 minus. So, papalitan natin yung r ng 0. That will be 0. Okay? So, we still have sine u du. Okay? So now I have 2, 0, pi over 2 times 1/3 sine u du. So ilalabas ko na yung ating constant. So I will have 2/3 0 pi over 2 sine u du. Okay? So we can now solve for another integral. So I will have 2/3. The integral of sine u du is negative cosine u. And from 0, pi over 2. Okay? So, 2 over 3 times negative cosine of pi over 2. Then, minus of negative cosine. Okay? So, palitan nga natin ito ng ano. Kasi nakakalito. Palitan natin ito ng bracket. No? Okay? Minus cosine, negative cosine of u, papalitan natin ng 0. Okay, so this will be 2/3 negative cosine of pi over 2 plus cosine of 0. Alright, so I have 2/3. Now, negative cosine of pi over 2. Cosine of pi over 2 is equal to 0. And then plus cosine of 0 is equal to positive 1. So 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. So that means our answer here will be equal to 2/3. Okay, so let me put equal sign, okay, sa lahat. Because they are all equal, no? Nung sinosolve natin siya. Okay, baka kasi malito tayo eh. Alright, so nakuha na natin yung 2 over 3. That will be our final answer here, which is sa ating mga choices, letter A, no? Alright, so we are done solving part 2 ng ating set A. So, sa ating part 3, tatapusin na natin yung set A ng ating workbook. We will be solving from problem number 21 up to problem number 30. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you very much and have a nice day.